Have you ever been stuck in a meeting about the exact same problem for, like, the third time? It is so frustrating, and it happens all the time. Today, we're going to break that cycle for good. We're diving into a really detailed and structured approach that shows how having clearly defined roles can turn that recurring chaos into a permanent solution. All right, so here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about why having clear roles is such a game changer. Then, we'll introduce the two main groups, the leadership core and the investigation team. After that, we'll see how it all connects to the bigger picture and wrap up with why accountability is the secret sauce to all of this.
Okay, let's get right into it. We have to start with the core issue here, and that's the absolute chaos that comes from problems that just refuse to go away.
I mean, it's the million-dollar question, isn't it? You know the one. That server that keeps crashing, that bug in the app, that one process that always breaks. Someone puts a quick patch on it, everyone sighs in relief, and then, boom, a month later, it's back. So what is going on?
Well, the answer, almost always, comes down to a lack of clear ownership. See, when nobody is specifically responsible for a problem from start to finish, it becomes everyone's problem, which, let's be honest, really means it's no one's problem. And that's where accountability just evaporates. We end up slapping on temporary band-aids instead of finding a real cure.
And that's exactly why you need a system, a formal, structured framework where every single person knows their part to play. Now, this isn't about adding a bunch of bureaucracy. It's about creating a super clear, efficient path to get from, uh-oh, it happened again, to it's solved for good.
So let's start building this out with our first set of roles. This is the leadership, the people who provide that high-level strategic oversight for the entire process. First up, we have the problem manager. If this whole system were a ship, the problem manager is the captain. They have the ultimate ownership, not just of one specific problem, but of the entire problem management practice. So you can see this is a really strategic role, right? As the practice owner, they don't just manage problems, they manage the system for solving them. They're the ones who have to make the tough calls on what to fix first. They drive the whole thing forward by leading those critical review meetings, and, this is huge, they're the bridge to senior leadership, making sure everyone understands what's happening and why it matters.
Okay, so we've got the strategy covered. Now we need the people who are actually going to get their hands dirty. This is the investigation team, the hands-on experts who live in the details.
And here we have the problem coordinator. Think of this person as the air traffic controller for a specific area. If the problem manager is overseeing the whole airport, the coordinator is managing all the flights on a specific set of runways. You know, maybe for the network team or for a particular software application.
Their job is all about that meticulous, day-to-day management. They're the keepers of the records, the trackers of progress. They make sure all the information is flowing exactly where it needs to go within their domain. They're basically the organizational backbone of the investigation. And now, let's bring in the detectives. These are the technical SMEs, or subject matter experts. These are your engineers, your developers, your analysts. The people with that deep, specialized knowledge needed to figure out what is really going on.
So, they've got a two-part mission. First, they do the deep dive root cause analysis, or RCA. This means they don't just fix the symptom. They dig and dig and dig until they find that one single fundamental thing that's causing the issue. And only then do they move to part two, proposing a permanent fix. This is where the real, lasting solution is born.
So you've got this awesome team in place. But here's the thing. They can't operate in a vacuum. The process has to connect seamlessly with other parts of the organization, and that's where these critical handoffs come in.
This slide shows it perfectly. These are the bookends of our process. On one end, you have the incident manager. They're on the front lines, putting out the immediate fires. They provide the crucial input by flagging those recurring issues and saying, hey, this thing is a bigger problem. Then, on the other end, once a fix is found, the change manager provides the output. They take that solution and make sure it gets implemented safely through a controlled, structured process.
All right, let's pull this all together now. When you combine all these roles, what you get is a really powerful system that's driven by absolute clarity and accountability.
So here it is, that well-oiled machine in action. It all kicks off when the incident manager flags a recurring issue. Step 2, the problem manager prioritizes it. Step 3, the SMEs dive deep and find the root cause. And finally, Step 4, the change manager implements the permanent fix. You see, every single step has a clear designated owner. There are no gaps for things to fall through. And that right there is the big takeaway.
This isn't just about solving one little problem, it's about building a system, a structured process where everybody knows their role. It completely transforms that reactive, chaotic firefighting into proactive, controlled problem solving. It ensures that when you fix something, it actually stays fixed.
So as we wrap this up, I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. When you look at your own work, your own team, and those annoying problems that keep popping up, where's your biggest accountability gap? Because finding it is the very first step to fixing it for good.